So Chris, you're a self-admitted weeb, correct?
Yep.
You like
Yep.
anime, you like Japanese stuff.
Oh man, you're not gonna ask me to pick one, are you?
No, 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 no. I'm just full disclosure, you're a weeb. Nothing, that's not a pejorative. It's just,
I don't,
it's
I don't even care if it is a pejorative. I mean,
you
so
don't?
what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you've seen Death Note. Now, not that you got to be a weeb to see Death Note. I've seen Death Note. Lots of people have seen Death Note. It's a great show. It's a very popular anime. But just to recap, in Death Note,
Is this gonna be a spoiler for people or
oh, who cares? If they haven't seen Death Note by this time,
well, yeah,
are they going
just
to see it? It's not going to be a
yeah.
spoiler. It's not going to be a spoiler. The
Okay.
premise is that there's a note where if you write in it, you can have somebody die or be killed. You can basically kill people by just writing in a thing. That's the premise of Death Note.
hmm
And it's sort of a
Are we about to
cop
get
for
banned from Twitter, YouTube?
no, I
I
don't
hope
think
not.
so.
Okay.
Why? Just because we talk about killing? No, it's
Yeah.
hypothetical.
Okay.
So in Death Note, the premise is you can write in a book and that person will die. And the show itself becomes sort of a cat and mouse, cops and robbers sort of thing where there's a criminal and there's police who there's sort of an adversarial relationship. But here's a hypothetical. Let's say the Death Note is real. Would you want the Death Note? Now, keep in mind, of course, you would want the Death Note because we would all want power. Of course. That's an easy question to answer. However, here's the stipulation you get the Death Note, but somebody who sucks also gets the Death Note. Like, let's say if you get it, somebody like AOC also gets
AOC.
the Death Note,
We both
right?
thought about AOC.
Right? Exactly. So you get it, but she also gets it. Now, here are further stipulations. You can't write each other into it. So you can't kill each other with it. You can,
Okay, wait, did you explain exactly how it works?
well, you write somebody's name in it and they die. And you can also further write how they die, like so and so jumps off a cliff
Okay,
or so and so
right.
takes too many pills or something,
Okay.
right? Now, so you have the death note, but in order for you to get the death note, we also have to give it to somebody who's the diametrically opposed person. Would you be up for it? Would you be okay, or just refuse the death note?
Okay. Do you know who the other person is or not?
Let's just call the other person AOC. Do you think
And
that you
so,
could utilize it in a way that's more effective than she could? And also, more interestingly, who would you put on it?
oof,
Who are you putting on this death note? Hypothetically, we're not making threats here.
right. Uh, I probably so I mean the first hypothetical is would you want this situation to occur, right?
Right, right. You could say no, I suppose.
Yeah. I think personally I would have to say no.
Okay.
Just because of how I'm evaluating my own
Your own
confidence, my
abilities.
competence level. Yeah.
Oh, you think AOC is gonna outsmart you? Come on, she's an idiot.
I,
Really?
I think the net result, I can't imagine it being,
Being good.
um, yeah, being good.
Okay. Well, then it ends
Or I
early
don't
for
have that.
you.
Yeah, at least I wouldn't have the confidence that the result would be good.
Uh, I would take it.
Yeah, I have much
Okay.
more confidence in you actually.
But as an aside, I do want to talk about this since it's sort of apropos to what's going on these days with Death Note. Okay. As an aside, you do know there was like a Netflix remake of it, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I actually wait. Was this a Japanese one or an American?
American
Who was the
Netflix. Who was the light or
Yeah, yeah.
so the Netflix remade it in live action,
Because I
and
think I have seen a live action Death Note, but I think the one I
it
saw
wasn't the
had,
American one. Okay.
yeah, I believe it was Japanese,
Yeah, 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 probably. This was a Netflix one.
and it actually wasn't as terrible as was anticipating.
Well, I just want to get into what I want to say about the American remake of Death Note.
Okay.
So, when
Oh
Death Note
yeah,
was remade,
I'm looking
okay,
at
first of all it was crap. First of all, it was crap. I watched it.
I'm looking at images right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But when the American remake happened, there was a decent amount of complaint about cultural appropriation. And they said, why did they make Light Yagami a white guy? Everybody in the original anime is Japanese, or at least part Japanese. I looked it up. They're at least part Japanese, all the anime people. They made Light a white guy. But here's the funny thing about that. I don't remember any complaints about them making L a black guy. And you may not have remembered this because it's like not high on your radar, but there were no complaints about that. Okay?
That's insane.
L is
Yeah.
not
Oh,
black. L is like half Japanese, half white, something. So how is they say it's cultural appropriation to make Light a white guy, even though, by the way, if you ever seen the anime, Light Yagami kind of looks like a white guy. Am I right? He's like got brown, like light brown hair. He kind of looks like,
yeah.
yeah,
For me, anime characters are all Japanese. Doesn't matter if they have blonde hair.
yeah, yeah,
They're all
yeah.
Japanese.
But they said, "Oh, is that cultural appropriation?" But no mention about them casting a black guy for L. Like, is that not cultural appropriation? It seems like can black people take any culture? Is that just how it is? Is that just okay or whatever? And the argument, of course, from the woke left would be, it is okay because there's a history of oppression with black people and white people, and therefore black people can take white roles. My response would be, these are Japanese roles. I mean, what history of oppression exists between Japanese people and African American people? None. So why is it okay for you to cast an African American in a Japanese role? The answer is you just do whatever you want according to what
Yeah,
you want. There's no internal
exactly.
logic to it. There's no justice to it. There's nothing. There's nothing. You just say cultural appropriation when it's convenient for your purposes and your ideology. That's it. Now,
Yeah.
personally,
Yep.
from my point of view, from my point of view, I've made myself clear before. I'm okay with it. If they want to make an American version, of course it's going to be sort of tailored to Americans and what Americans look like. So I have no problem with either casting. You want to make Light a white guy, you want to make L a black guy, that's fine. That's for the American audience. That's fine. Okay? I don't even care because you know what? It's a shitty version anyway. If you want to watch the better version, just watch the anime. Okay? Just watch the anime. That's what I recommend anyway. But these people who complain about cultural appropriation, they're so full of it and they have so many double standards and mixed up standards. It just totally reveals that there is no internal consistency to their position whatsoever. None whatsoever.
And of course, they make Light the white guy and L the black guy.
Right, because L's
Right.
good.
Yeah.
L's the good guy. And Light is, oh, by the way, don't ever watch
Uh,
this Netflix remake. It's fucking terrible. Oh my
yeah.
God. Watch the anime, which is a great, great anime. And I'm not even a weeb, so I don't really love anime, but this is one of the all-time greats, and you
Yeah.
will enjoy watching it if you do.
I, I feel
There
like
are
Death
some
Note.
problems with
Yeah.
it, but it's still great.
Yeah. I think Death Note is probably in, top 10 for most people, I bet, for anime.
The only problem I have with it is like the final third of it kind of spins out of control, like it went on too long or something, but
Hmm.
it's okay. But back to the hypothetical. You would refuse a death note. I would take it for sure. I would take it. And some names that I would write in it.
Yeah, would you be using
Gavin Newsom.
would you be using it for your own benefit as well?
Sure, why not? I mean, it's only
Yeah.
a handwriting. It takes but a moment. But to further the cause, I would write Gavin Newsom's name in it because I just think I think he is actually somewhat threatening. You know, he looks and sounds like a president, so I think he could be one.
But then we know, Trump would die, DeSantis would die.
Of course,
Yeah.
right?
What makes you confident that the net result will be a win?
Because I think I'm smarter than AOC. That's why.
Hmm. Do you think ultimately, meaning like, do you think ultimately she would be caught?
No, I think that she would make poorer choices.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But there's no winning though. Like, how do
What do you
you?
mean? There's no winning?
I mean, let's say, okay, so you kill Gavin Newsom, so he can't be president, but
Right.
then whoever becomes president could just get killed.
Oh, well, I guess we're just gonna have like a Holocaust or something,
Yeah.
you know?
I think, I feel like if we were to be fully, if we were to really play this out, I think I could see a win happening where she gets caught and you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That
then
would,
and then and then or I get caught later and I just get a
yeah.
few more names in the book, right? I think it's possible because she's more famous than I am. So on that alone, I think she'd get caught first.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just a fun thought experiment. Would you like don't even like actually don't even let's take out the whole somebody else gets the death note. Would you even want the death note? There's no consequences. Like you
Right.
just you get it.
I had actually a very selfish and grotesque thought that that went through my mind for a moment, and how the Death Note might make my life better, and I just decided that would be horrible.
Oh. Well, you know, the show itself is about the same themes. It's about somebody who thought that they could do good with the Death Note and they can affect positive change or whatever. And of course, that sort of power just corrupts them, and
Yeah,
they become a villain. Obviously,
yeah,
it's obvious to people, looking on the outside, but it's not obvious to you when you have it. Because
yeah,
everybody who, I guess it's a good lesson. Everybody who gets power, they think that they're going to do something, almost everyone, they think they're going to do something good with it, right?
hmm,
And I think in the vast majority of cases, people who get too much power do bad things with it,
yeah,
generally.
and just killing somebody as a solution to some problem feels yeah, most there's a high probability that that's oversimplification
Yes,
is
yes.
what it seems like.
But those are parameters of Death Note. So
Yeah.
it's a great anime. So just go ahead and watch it if you haven't. And how have you not watched it? This is 2022, right?
Yeah.